Hi. So, for the last few weeks or so, I've been seeing the color red being used way more than I ever see in the city. See, one of the big things that hit me when I moved back to the US from India was the sudden shift of color palette. We don't use a lot of colors in the US, especially in our clothing or in our decorations, unless it's a festival or a holiday. The color red really comes out during any major event, and I think that's been the case for a few thousand years at least. The ancient Egyptians and Mayans painted their faces red in ceremonies. The Roman generals had their bodies colored red to celebrate victories. In China, red was used to color pottery and later the palace walls. In the Renaissance, the wealthy wore these brilliant red costumes. Red is also the color of revolution, and you see it in all kinds of flags. So red has always been popular, and it still is. Whenever you're looking for a little romance or you want to spice things up, the first color you often tend to turn to the color red. But it's not just romance. We say we paint the town red. We send each other virtual red hearts on social media. Red is associated with attention and energy. That's because its long wavelength makes it most visible to the human eye. It demands attention and it gives a vibrant sense of energy. In nature too, red appears in some of the most essential processes. The very soil upon which we walk is often red. Red pigments often assist in photosynthesis, which is the basis of our food and sustenance. When we're born, we're covered in red. Red flows through our veins. Our day starts and ends with red. Red is the flower in bloom. It's the ripeness of the fruit. In India, traditionally, red has a little deeper significance. When I was around 6 or so, I did my first stage performance, which was Bharatanatyam at that time. And we had to apply this red liquid to the tips of our fingers and to our feet. I remember the feeling of suddenly having all this color on my hands, and the same color was used in my bindi and in all my jewelry and on the borders of my dress. And I was generally a happy child, but just the way the color red decorated and felt on my body gave me this sense of joy and festivity, and I definitely felt like dancing. I've been in love with this tradition ever since. See, in India, red represents the divine feminine, the goddess or Devi. That's why the color is such a big part of an Indian woman's life, to accentuate the feminine aspect or the Shakti within her. The goddess or Devi is poetically described as red as a hibiscus flower, a ruby stone, a lotus, a fruit, or the rising sun. The most vibrant examples of red are used as metaphors to poetically describe the very essence of the feminine, which is an exuberance of life.
Sarangapani Devi Santatamun Sarangapani Devi Saradamegadi Yendru Samajagamini Saradamegadi Yendru Samajagamini Sindanai Seiya Jaganmohana Rupini சிந்தனை செய்ய ஜெகன்மோகன ரூபிணி சித்தம் இறங்கினாள் என்ன ஸ்ரீலலிதாம்பாள் சித்தம் இறங்கினாள் என்ன ஸ்ரீலலிதாம்பாள் மாதகமத சகமத நிசகமனித மாதகமத சகமத நிசகமனித சனித ரிசனித கரிசனித மாதகமத சகமத நிசகமனித சனித ரிசனித கரிசனித பதகபத சரிக சரித சபத கரி சரிகரித சரி சபத சத கபத சத பம பதமகரி சரிக சரி